This is a 3-bone bone-in prime rib roast that I've had dry aging in my refrigerator for about a week. This is the container that I do it in. It is basically just a Tupperware container with holes drilled in it and then some paper towels on the lid. The roast goes on there, lid goes on top, and every day you go in and wipe it down, change the paper towels, wipe the inside of the container down. But you can watch another video on how to dry age beef. I've got it in this cast iron skillet because that's what I'm going to bake it with or roast it in. You don't need a roasting rack because you've already got one built in with the bones. And this is a stick of butter, some black pepper, and some garlic powder that's softening at room temperature. It's about 4 hours before I'm going to throw this in the oven, and I want this to come up to room temperature over those 4 hours. So this is the butter mix from earlier that I've kind of softened, and I'm just going to put about half of it on this side and rub it in. And basically this is just to kind of create a nice sear when we put it in the oven at 500. And then to catch salt, I'm going to be rubbing some salt in here. So I'm going to rub it in on this side, flip it over, and rub it in on the other side, and I'll show you the next step. Okay, so now I've got some like kosher salt here, and we're going to salt this. And that's one of the main reasons I put the butter on, is to hold the salt. And you actually do want a fair amount. You know, I'm sprinkling on a pretty good amount, and then I'm going to tip it up on its side and sprinkle it the rest of the way around too. So now I've got my oven heated to 500, and I'm going to put this in on about the middle rack. And this is going to go in for 20 minutes. Then we're going to turn the temperature down to 325, and I'm going to put a temperature probe in the beef. So I just took it out of the oven. We just got to the temp that I want, and I'm going to transfer it to there and tent it. Now I'm going to make some au jus. I've drained off most of the fat that was in the bottom there, all of that stuff. You can save that. You can make Yorkshire pudding with it. You can do all sorts of stuff, so don't throw it out. You can render it down. And now what I'm going to do is make our au jus. That's the pan that I baked it in, and I left all the good stuff in the bottom. And I'm just going to put in probably 3 tablespoons of flour and give it a good stir here. And then what we're going to do is cook this for a few minutes, and then I'm going to add some beef broth. It's kind of thickened up a bit. I'm going to add in a little beef broth, and I'm trying to get all that good stuff off the bottom. And this is going to turn into a tasty, tasty sauce. So then I'm just going to detach the bones from the bottom. You can see nice and meaty and bloody, and if that doesn't get your inner carnivore going, nothing will. Now we'll carve a slice here and see how we did here.
Oh, okay, so they're different recipes.
Yeah. Good stuff. Towards the center it tends to be a little bit more rare, so some people don't like it that rare, so we just have them have it towards the ends. A little Yorkshire pudding, little boiling au jus just from there, and that's it. So this is what's left after our guests had their fill. I always take this and chill it down and then slice it with a meat slicer to have roast beast sandwiches. Because if you try to reheat this, you're just going to wreck it. But if you make a deli sandwich with this, it's like the best thing you've ever had.